You're hesitating again, aren't you? You keep waiting for the perfect moment, like it's going to come gift-wrapped in clarity and courage. But let me break it to you. It never does. The perfect moment is the one you create by attacking before you're ready. That's what separates players from spectators. In this world, hesitation is death. In Blue Lock, 1 second of hesitation gets you eliminated. Out here, it gets you forgotten. It's not cruelty. It's natural selection. Ruthless, mathematical. And if that scares you, then you've already lost. Every second you spend doubting yourself, someone else is already moving. Someone hungrier. Someone sharper. Someone like me. You think I was born different? No. I just stopped pretending I was like everyone else. I stopped clinging to comfort and started building a weapon out of my mind. My ego isn't arrogance. It's my compass. It tells me when to strike. You want greatness? Then understand this. The world doesn't hand it out for free. You have to rip it from the jaws of reality. Reality doesn't yield to the polite. You don't ask for a goal, you take it. And if you can't, someone else will. You either dominate the system or get devoured by it. There's no in-between. You have to devour it. Every moment is a battlefield. You breathe, you compete. That's the rhythm. That's the law. You don't get to rest just because you're tired. The field doesn't pause. The world doesn't care. Only results matter. You fight until the whistle. Every choice you make, it builds your identity. You're not a finished product. You're a collection of decisions, built play by play, moment by moment. So ask yourself, are you choosing safety or are you choosing to evolve? Because safety is a trap disguised as logic. And when you're standing on that line, staring your future in the face, only one question matters. Will you act or will you wait? Right now, someone else is visualizing the exact thing you want and they're running toward it. So if you're still thinking, still doubting, you're already being passed, and you won't even see it coming until you're already behind. Because if you wait, you're already dead. You get eaten, forgotten, left behind in someone else's highlight reel. This world doesn't mourn the almost great. It doesn't care about what you could have done. Either your name is carved into the moment, or it's not even in the credits. That's the cost. That's the standard. But if you act, if you move with precision, obsession, and killer instinct, then you become the predator. Predators don't apologize. They don't second guess. They move with conviction, with precision. Their instincts are honed, not inherited. You want to dominate. Then you sharpen your mindset like a blade and never let it dull. This isn't about talent. It's not about destiny. People love to blame fate. It's easier than owning your decisions. But fate is just the excuse of the unprepared. There's no chosen one here. That's fairy tale crap. Only the one who chooses to act like he's inevitable. This is about vision, calculation, obsession. Can you read the field of your life like a play? Can you see 10 steps ahead while everyone else is stuck reacting? Can you smell opportunity like blood in the water? Then go, now, without pause, without fear. Make the cut, because that's what I do. I dissect, I predict, I eliminate possibilities until only victory remains. The ones who can't read the flow, they become part of someone else's. They exist to be bypassed. Every second you hesitate, someone with less talent but more hunger is overtaking you. They'll outmaneuver you, not because they're better, but because they're certain. And certainty kills hesitation. Steal the future before someone else does. Rip the brakes off. Tear down the limitations you let others install in your head. You don't need permission. You need momentum. The first move is yours, so make it matter. You want to matter? Then stop playing nice with mediocrity. Mediocrity is the disease that tells you, maybe late, that whispers, you're doing okay. It's a parasite. Starve it. Expose it. Destroy it. Or it will bury you beneath excuses. Crush it. Rip it apart. Turn every breath into fuel and every second into your weapon. Because fuel burns fast. That's why you feed it with obsession, with urgency, with purpose. You want your shot? Then show up every damn day like you're already behind. Because in this game, you are. because this world only remembers the ones who devour. Legends aren't made. They're forged in fire, pressure, and relentless pursuit. You don't get remembered for showing up. You get remembered for taking the moment and making it yours, so hard they can't ignore you. You think you're awake now? You're not. You're still sleepwalking through good enough. Wake up. Open your eyes to the hunger that's swallowing the weak. If you don't rise now, then stay down forever. This is not a game. This is not a dream. This is war. And your opponent is the version of you that settles, that surrenders, that delays. Kill that version, or it will kill everything you're meant to become. It's time to stop asking, what if? Time to stop pretending you have time. Every second is currency. So what are you buying with your regret or domination? So I'll ask you again, and I want the answer in your next move, not your mouth. Will you devour or be devoured? There's no draw, no safe zone, no neutral ground. You either impose your identity on the world or fade beneath someone else's. It's kill or be consumed. And if you're not hunting, you're being hunted. People don't rise by luck. They rise because they tear holes through limits that others treat like walls. You either become the anomaly or you remain part of the background noise. You don't need more motivation. You need a mirror. Look at who you are and who you've been running from. Every time you hide from effort, from risk, from exposure, you let that weaker version survive another day. You want to be feared on the field? Then become the one who never lets up. Pressure is your weapon. Let them feel you breathing down their necks until they break. You don't stop when it's hard. You escalate. Reinvention doesn't happen in silence. It happens when you crack, when you break, when you rebuild with obsession in your eyes and fire in your gut. The old version of you has to die for the next one to rise. Control the chaos. Don't just survive it. Command it. While others panic, you predict. While others hesitate, you slice through. That's the mindset of a striker, of a devourer, of someone who writes the ending themselves. They'll doubt you. They'll underestimate you. Good. Let them. Their disbelief is fuel. You don't owe them explanations. You owe yourself execution, results, proof, blood in the net, and silence in their mouths. You want a legacy? Then stop chasing claps. Chase goals. Chase checkmates. Every moment should be designed to leave no doubt you were here and you changed the outcome. Your time won't come. That's a lie people tell themselves so they don't have to act now. The truth, your time is made with choices so sharp they cut off the past and lock you into the now. What's the cost of going all in? Everything. But the cost of holding back? Irrelevance. Silence. Regret. If you're going to pay anyway, pay for domination, not comfort. There's beauty in obsession, not the soft kind, the kind that tears through flesh and sleep and doubt. You want to matter? Then let obsession consume the version of you that settles for potential. There's no such thing as next time. That's just a convenient lie to soften your failure. Burn that idea. Burn the escape route. Perform like this is your only shot, because it might be. Fear's not the enemy. Fear is data. Use it. Aim it. Let it amplify your instincts. But never let it decide for you. Because when fear takes control, you lose before the match even begins. You know what's worse than losing. Regretting you didn't attack harder, didn't move sooner, didn't bet on yourself when the window was still open. You live with that longer than any scar. Every field you enter should feel your hunger before they even see your face. You arrive locked in, calculating, predatory, efficient. That's my standard. You're not chasing goals. You're chasing impact. Don't just play the game. Rewrite the script. Force them to react to you. Every second, every pivot. You are the author of pressure. Let others dream. You execute. Let them visualize. You dissect. While they imagine glory, you're already 3 plays deep into how you'll take it. That's what separates the predator from the prey. You're not supposed to fit in. You're supposed to fracture their expectations. You're the variable they can't prepare for. The moment they try to define you, you redefine the game. If no one hates your hunger, you're not hungry enough. You're not here to be liked. You're here to be undeniable. Your very presence should be a threat to their comfort zone. So this is your line, right here, right now. Either you step over it and devour everything in your path, or you step back and fade into the forgotten. Choose. And don't fake the choice. Don't whisper it to yourself in secret. Scream it in your actions, because words are smoke. But movement is proof. And in my world, proof is everything. You're not owed a transformation. You have to trigger it manually. Flip the switch. Drag yourself out of mediocrity. Rip the old self from your spine. And step in as something sharp, something new. Complacency will wear your face. It'll sound like reason. It'll disguise itself as patience. But it's a virus. One that eats killers from the inside. If you smell it, crush it. You want something rare? Then act like it. Move like someone who refuses to be common. Treat every set of eyes on you like a mirror, and reflect back dominance. They'll call you obsessed. Let them. Because obsession is clarity in a world drunk on comfort. And clarity is power when you know exactly who you are and exactly what you're willing to do to win. Stop romanticizing the grind. It's not poetry, it's war. And every day, you're either adding to your arsenal or rusting from within. Train like your future depends on it, because it does. You have one job. Make yourself undeniable. Make it impossible to ignore you. The kind of player who forces the game to revolve around him. That's not arrogance, that's intent. Forget potential. Forget talent. That's all noise if you don't act. This world doesn't crown the most gifted, it crowns the most relentless. Be the storm, be the problem they can't solve. No one's coming to save you. No spotlight, no miracle, just you, and the will to create pressure when none exists. You want to rise? Then manufacture your own gravity. So I'll ask one final time, and answer like your name's on the line. Do you exist to react, or to rewrite the entire game? If you hesitated, even now, right after I asked, you're still calculating your answer. And that's it. That's the moment I devour you. Not because you're weak, because you're still thinking. That's the difference between us. You respond, I rewrite. You wait to understand. I move before understanding is even finished loading. You wait for proof. I move so confidently. The world has no choice but to reshape around me. You exist in what if. I operate in what now. And the brutal truth, you already know I'm right. That line, the one that separates you from who you want to be. You've seen it for years, stepped up to it, stared at it, and every time, you walked away with some clever little reason. You wrapped it in logic, timing, readiness, strategy, disguises. But at the core of it, you were scared, not of failing, of committing, of having no excuse left, of finding out who you really are without the buffer of potential. And me, I killed that fear. I let it rot. And what replaced it wasn't talent, it was clarity. Clarity that in this game, in this world, you're either the one who applies pressure or the one who breaks under it. So ask yourself, what role are you really playing? Because while you were busy making peace with hesitation, I became the type of player who moves first and regrets nothing.
Kindness won't carry you where ambition demands. You think the world cares about your feelings. It doesn't. The scoreboard doesn't care about your excuses. The finish line doesn't care about your story. Life only respects results. Results don't lie. They don't care if you're tired. They don't care if you tried. They only reflect what you did, not what you intended. Stop begging for recognition. Stop expecting credit for effort. Nobody crowns the almost. Only the ruthless who finish what they start carve their names into reality. Half effort is the slowest death. You can train, sweat, and grind. But if you stop before the finish, you've buried yourself alive. Ruthlessness means you don't stop at 90%. You don't stop at good enough. You take it all the way to the end, until there is no room left for doubt, no oxygen left for excuses. And the moment you understand this, truly, brutally understand it, You stop playing soft. You stop waiting for someone to understand you. You start carving through everything that stands in your way. You need to understand this. Your hesitation, your softness, your excuses, they are luxuries. Luxuries you can't afford if you want to climb higher. The world is not waiting for you with open arms. It is waiting to devour you the second you falter. If you truly want to achieve, then strip yourself of hesitation and become ruthless. Ruthless with your time, ruthless with your energy, ruthless with your focus. Stop entertaining distractions. Stop giving yourself mercy where discipline is required. Because every second you waste is ammunition for someone hungrier than you. You can't afford to be casual. Casual effort breeds casual results. And casual results will bury you beneath the ones who take this game seriously. Treat every hour like a weapon, every day like a battlefield, and every decision like a blade that cuts you closer to your goal or further away. Ruthlessness is measured in precision, not chaos. Understand this. Discipline without sharpness is wasted energy. You can grind endlessly and still lose if your grind is blind. Ruthlessness means cutting away every useless motion, every wasted breath, every uncalculated step. Efficiency is violence when it is consistent. Ruthlessness isn't about doing more. It's about doing exactly what must be done with no waste. Every rep, every strike, every step, sharpened to kill weakness. Others drown in distractions. The ruthless slice straight through them and leave nothing standing in their path. Weakness doesn't disappear on its own. You cut it out like a surgeon cuts out decay. You don't negotiate with it. You don't pity it. You eliminate it. Stop confusing comfort for progress. Stop confusing effort with excellence. Most people work just enough to feel tired, but not enough to change. They work just enough to feel good about themselves, but not enough to be undeniable. Ruthlessness means tearing that illusion apart. It means demanding more from yourself, no matter how much it burns. And when you tear it apart, you expose yourself. No masks, no excuses, just the raw truth of who you are and how far you're willing to go. Most people run from that truth because it hurts. The ruthless confront it, crush it, and rebuild themselves from it. That rebuilding hurts. It breaks you before it makes you. But only those who accept that destruction can transform. Everyone else clings to comfort and stays fragile. Ruthlessness is not about avoiding the pain. It's about bending it into fuel until even agony works for you. That is what being ruthless means. The willingness to sacrifice comfort for results. To sacrifice temporary pleasure for permanent dominance. You think you're serious, but seriousness is not shown in words. It's carved into your habits. If you were ruthless, you would stop settling. If you were ruthless, you would stop needing motivation. If you were ruthless, you would already be moving. Do you understand what that means? It means moving when you're tired. Moving when you're uninspired. Moving when the voice in your head tells you to rest, to wait, to quit. Ruthless people don't negotiate with that voice. They silence it with action. Every single time. That's why the ruthless seem unstoppable. Not because they never feel weakness, but because they never bow to it. They drag their weakness with them and keep moving forward. That's what terrifies everyone else. They quit when it hurts. The ruthless only accelerate. Pain is the currency of progress, and the ruthless spend it freely. They understand that every ounce of suffering buys them power, that every second of struggle is interest on their victory. They don't resent pain. They collect it, invest it, and weaponize it. Listen carefully. Dreams are not stolen. They are surrendered. The truth is harsh. The enemy is not out there. It's in here. It's your hesitation, your comfort, your indulgence. People like to blame circumstances, blame fate, blame others. But ruthlessness means pointing the finger only at yourself. Because once you own the battlefield inside, nothing outside can defeat you. The world throws storms, betrayals, and pressure at you. But if you're already ruthless inside, none of it matters. You won't break. You won't fold. You won't drown. You'll cut through it like a blade through paper, because your will is sharper than the chaos. That sharpness is rare. Most people dull themselves with comfort, with entertainment, with softness. They sand down their edge until they're harmless. But the ruthless, they protect their edge. They sharpen it daily. They make themselves dangerous. Because only the dangerous ever dominate. Every time you choose ease over effort, you hand yours away. Every time you let fear dictate your step, you kneel before it. Ruthlessness is not cruelty, it is clarity. It is the ability to see exactly what matters and cut down everything else without hesitation. To look at weakness, laziness, doubt, and tear them apart before they tear you apart. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop expecting inspiration to knock on your door. The perfect moment is a myth designed for the weak. Ruthless people don't wait, they create. They walk into the fire when others wait for the flames to die. They carve their chance out of nothing, and they do it with no apologies. That's the difference. Apologies are for the comfortable. The ruthless don't apologize for chasing what's theirs. They don't apologize for working while others sleep. They don't apologize for being obsessed. They take what they want, and when people call them cold, they smile. Because coldness is what forged them. Do you think greatness is warm? Do you think it embraces you gently? No. Greatness is ice. It freezes everyone who hesitates, and it welcomes only those who can endure its frost. If you cannot handle being cold, you cannot handle being great. That's why only the ruthless survive the climb. You want success? Stop looking for balance, for kindness, for excuses. Start looking at yourself like a predator in a field of prey. A predator doesn't hesitate. A predator doesn't ask permission. A predator doesn't care about sympathy. It locks on to the target and takes it. That's what you need to become. Every hesitation you allow is weakness. Every delay is surrender. Ruthlessness is about developing instincts that strike before doubt has a chance to breathe.
Doubt is a luxury. Hesitation is death. Every moment you hesitate, someone else is already finishing. Someone else is already winning. If you want to be untouchable, you must train yourself to move before the thought of quitting even forms. That's instinct. That's ruthlessness. Instinct means moving before your fear even speaks. It means acting so fast that hesitation suffocates before it reaches your throat. The ruthless aren't fearless. They are faster than fear. They don't wait for permission from courage. They move, and courage is forced to follow. The ones who hesitate will fall. The ones who soften will crumble. And the ones who become ruthless, unyielding, uncompromising, untouchable, those are the ones who rise. Because in the end, history is not written by the kind, the balanced, the merciful. It is written by those who refuse to bend, by those who impose their will on the game, on the field, on themselves. Mercy is a beautiful story, but in the language of reality, only dominance is read. Dominance doesn't need validation. It doesn't ask for applause. It demands acknowledgement because it cannot be ignored. The ruthless don't chase attention. Their results drag the world's eyes to them, whether they want it or not. Attention fades, fame burns out, but dominance lasts. Dominance leaves scars on history that can't be erased. That is why the ruthless don't waste time chasing spotlights. They build empires in the dark. Empires too large to be ignored, when they finally step into the light. So decide, are you here to play gently with life? Or are you here to take it with force? If you choose force, understand this. Every comfort will resist you. Every weakness will test you. Every distraction will tempt you. But you must cut them all, one by one, without hesitation. Because only those who kill their excuses in silence can roar with their victories in the open. You want the roar? Then earn it in the dark. Earn it when nobody sees you. Earn it when no one claps, no one believes, no one waits for you. Ruthlessness is building victory in silence so that when it erupts, the world has no choice but to choke on the shock of it. Shock. That's the weapon. Not slow, predictable growth, but violent.
undeniable leaps that silence every critic in an instant. The ruthless don't rise politely. They erupt. They don't ask to be seen. They force the world to look. And only one answer survives. And survival is not enough. Don't aim to survive. Don't aim to last. Aim to dominate. Aim to shatter limits until even the word limits becomes meaningless in your mouth. That is what ruthlessness gives you. Not just survival. Not just success. But supremacy. Supremacy doesn't mean being better than others. It means making comparison meaningless. It means reaching a level where nobody else even plays the same game as you. That's the ultimate prize of becoming ruthless. Separation, untouchable distance, a throne only you can sit on. And when you sit there, remember this: ruthlessness never ends. The second you soften, the second you grow complacent, someone sharper takes your crown. Supremacy is not given, it is guarded. If you want to keep the throne, you must stay ruthless forever. And that is the only language the world respects. So hear me clearly. If you want to be remembered, if you want to be untouchable, if you want to ascend above the fragile, then abandon hesitation, kill comfort, bury weakness, and become ruthless.
Stop pretending you're weak. You know it. I know it. Deep inside, there's something you've been holding back. Something raw, something violent, something unstoppable. You've chained it down because the world told you to stay quiet, to stay small, to stay ordinary. And that's pathetic. Every excuse you make is just another chain. Every time you hesitate, you're tightening the leash around your own throat. You call it safety. You call it balance. But it's nothing more than fear dressed up as reason. You're addicted to comfort. You cling to it like it will save you. But it's the very poison that's killing your edge. Comfort is the graveyard where monsters are buried alive. If you want to breathe like a predator, suffocate your comfort. Trade it for pressure, for struggle, for fire. That's the only place the monster awakens. Monsters don't reason with weakness, they crush it. And if you can't crush your own excuses, don't expect to crush anything else. That monster inside of you, it doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care about your comfort. It wants out, it wants to rip apart your limits, tear down the walls, and crush everything that stands in your way. And you, yes, you are the only one stupid enough to keep it locked away. You want freedom. You want respect. You want to stand above the rest. Then stop protecting the world from your strength. Stop diluting your fire just to make the sheep around you comfortable. Look around you. Most people are nothing but empty shadows, repeating the same cycles, recycling the same excuses, hiding from their own reflection. And you think you're different because you dream? No. You're only different when you act. The monster isn't built on dreams. It's built on scars, decisions, and unbreakable obsession. Monsters aren't made to blend in. They're made to dominate, to tower, to set the standard so high that no one else can even breathe in the same air. That's what it means to unleash yourself fully. Unleashing the monster isn't about anger. It's about truth. It's about stripping away the fake politeness, the forced humility, the mask you wear every single day to fit in with the rest of the herd. And the truth is ugly. Truth is merciless. It doesn't care about your feelings, your comfort, or your insecurities. And that's why the monster is necessary. The reason most people never unleash it is because they're terrified of who they'll become. They're afraid of their own strength. They fear the isolation, the sacrifice, the hunger that comes with it. But I know, and I'll tell you plain. If you're scared of what you could be, you'll stay shackled to what you already are. Nothing. Monsters don't hesitate to act where you hesitate to think. It doesn't stumble when you second guess. It doesn't pause when you look for approval. The monster only knows one direction. Forward. Relentless. Unshaken. Monsters don't fit in. They dominate. They don't ask permission. They take. You think greatness comes from balance. From playing nice. From waiting your turn. You've been lied to your whole life. They told you discipline is enough. They told you patience is enough. They told you if you play fair and stay consistent, you'll make it. Wrong. Discipline without teeth is useless. Motivation without blood is worthless. You need that cold, merciless, devouring edge. You need the monster to tear down the fake order they've built around you. Without it, you'll only be another obedient piece in their game. With it, you'll be the player who rewrites the rules. Discipline without the monster is just routine. Patience without the monster is just waiting. Only when you unleash it does everything finally bend to your will. If you are still there, wake up. That mindset is the leash that keeps you tame. The monster inside you doesn't wait for permission. It acts, it breaks, it conquers. Weakness is contagious. Surround yourself with the timid, and you'll rot like them. But unleash the monster, and you'll stand so far above them that their words won't even reach your ears anymore. Understand this. Strength is not shared. It's claimed. It's taken by force. And the monster inside you knows that truth better than you do. Stop waiting for someone to hand you your moment. It doesn't exist. Moments are seized. Monsters create their own openings and rip them wide open. Let them complain, let them whine. Let them drown in mediocrity. That's their fate. Yours is different. You're not here to participate. You're here to consume. And I'll say this once. If you're scared of your monster, you'll live and die average. But if you feed it, if you sharpen it, if you unleash it without hesitation, you'll rewrite everything. The world doesn't hand crowns to the cautious. It doesn't reward hesitation. It kneels to the ruthless, the relentless, the ones who burn their doubts and sharpen their hunger until it terrifies everyone else. And do you think anyone remembers the cautious ones? Do you think anyone builds monuments for the ones who played it safe? No. The only names carved into eternity are the ones who tore through fear like it was nothing. The monster doesn't look back, doesn't hesitate, doesn't beg. It simply takes its place at the top. That's why the monster is your only option. It doesn't play games, it doesn't compromise. It doesn't stop, it only wins. People will hate you. People will fear you. People will call you arrogant, selfish, obsessed, and they'll be right. Hate is proof you're moving right. Fear is proof you're stepping into dominance. Let them talk. Let them choke on their jealousy. Let them drown in their fragile opinions. The louder their hatred, the clearer your dominance. Weak men curse the strong because they can't match them. Let their voices rise. It only means you're too far ahead for them to catch. Monsters don't compete with the weak. They erase them from the game. None of it matters. The monster inside you doesn't hear the noise. It only hears the sound of barriers shattering. Because monsters don't exist to be loved. They exist to win. You think love will make you strong. You think validation will carry you. No. Love softens you. Validation chains you. Love and acceptance are traps for the tame. They want you soft, approachable, harmless. But monsters don't bend to comfort. They thrive in discomfort, in fire, in chaos. If you want the monster alive, you have to starve the part of you that craves to be liked. Feed the part that craves to conquer. Monsters survive because they refuse both. They sharpen themselves on pain, on rejection, on solitude. And that sharpness is what makes them lethal. If you want to rise, abandon the need to be understood. Monsters don't beg, they conquer. So stop caging what was meant to devour. Stop suppressing the very thing that makes you dangerous. The field, the world, life itself. It only bows to those who unleash the monster. Stop taming your instincts. Stop apologizing for your hunger. Stop disguising your fire as humility. Your instincts are the compass of the monster. They'll guide you faster than logic, stronger than doubt, sharper than hesitation. Trust them. Follow them. They won't lead you to safety. They'll lead you to war. And in war is where you'll finally discover what you were always meant to be. The world doesn't need another polite pretender. It needs a beast that tears reality apart and rebuilds it in their image. That's the version of you that wins. That's the version of you that cannot be stopped. You've been warned. Stay tame if you want. But the moment you decide to break the chain, nothing will ever stop you again. Unleash it now, or regret it forever. There will be no second invitation, no redo, no rewind. Every second you waste is fuel for the monster you keep suppressing. Feed it, unleash it, or die with it locked inside. The choice is yours. But the truth is simple. Only monsters leave their mark on this world. Everyone else is forgotten. When the chains snap, you'll feel it. The world will shift under your feet. Everything will look smaller, weaker, slower. Because the monster doesn't see obstacles anymore. It only sees prey. That's the moment you'll know. You are not like them. You were never like them. You were always meant to dominate. And understand this. Once the monster walks free, there is no going back to who you were. That fragile version of you dies the moment you take the leash off. And that's exactly how it should be. That timid, obedient self. The one that begged for approval, that feared rejection, that hesitated when it mattered. That version of you was never built to survive. It was nothing but dead weight. Burn it, erase it, bury it deep, and never let it crawl back. Because the monster is not polite. It doesn't care about how it looks, or who approves, or who claps when you win. It only cares about dominance. It only cares about breaking what stands in its way. Every wall, every enemy, every doubt, you rip through them, without hesitation. The monster does not compromise. The monster does not apologize. The monster only takes, and when it takes, the world will resist. They will hate you. They will call you cruel, arrogant, obsessed, heartless. Let them. Let them scream. Let them choke. Let them collapse under the weight of your shadow. That's proof that you've risen so far above. Their hatred is confirmation. Their fear is validation. It means you've finally become what they could never touch. This path isn't comfortable. It isn't pretty. It's savage. It's violent. It's brutal. But that's the price of power. That's the cost of tearing your humanity apart to reveal the predator underneath. And you should embrace it, because the alternative is worse. Being just another lifeless body in the herd. Another forgotten name. Another wasted chance at greatness. So decide, right now, will you continue as prey? Weak, tame, comfortable, erased by time? Or will you unleash the monster, unforgiving, unstoppable, undeniable, and take everything that was meant for you? Because the moment you commit, truly commit, there will be no more hesitation, no more waiting, no more begging. There will only be you, and the destruction you leave behind. Remember this, the world never belonged to the tame. It never will. The crown is not given, it's stolen. Victory is not offered, it's taken. And history does not remember the cautious. It remembers the monsters who refuse to kneel. So burn your excuses, shatter your doubts, kill your weakness, rip the chains apart with your bare hands, and step forward as what you always were meant to be. Not a follower, not another shadow, not another wasted life, but the nightmare that haunts the world and the storm that no one can stop. Because once the monster rises, once it breathes, once it roars, there is no cage that can hold it. There is no enemy that can stop it. There is no force that can silence it. And when they look up at you, broken and terrified, they will finally understand the truth. The monster is not someone else. The monster is not out there. The monster is you, and the world will never forget it.
Pathetic. You think lying around, drowning in excuses, will take you anywhere. Nah, that's just rotting. You're alive, but you're not living. Laziness is a coffin you built with your own hands, and you're burying yourself in it. Comfort is nothing but a padded cell for the weak. Laziness is the enemy disguised as a friend. It tells you to rest, but really it chains you down. You call it comfort. I call it surrender. And surrender is the language of losers. Laziness isn't harmless. It's treason. It's betrayal against your own potential. You're not losing to others. You're losing to yourself before the game even begins. That's the ultimate disgrace. You think lying still is peace? No. It's decay. Every second you waste, your edge dulls, your fire dies, and someone sharper is tearing past you. Comfort is death dressed up as relaxation. Listen up. I was like you. A genius with no drive. A talent wasting away because it was easier to yawn than to move. But then I realized, sleeping through life is worse than failure. Failure at least means you tried. Laziness means you chose to stay dead while still breathing. You want to talk about talent? Talent without hunger is trash. Do you want to know what separates me from you? I wanted more. I demanded more. I took more. My ego didn't let me stop while you slept. I devoured. That's the only difference, and that's why I win. You could be born with everything in your veins, but if you refuse to bleed for it, then you're just another waste. Another genius that history spits out and forgets. Kill your laziness. Rip it apart with your bare hands. Don't cradle it like some comfort blanket. That comfort is poison. Laziness whispers like a lover, telling you to rest, to take it easy, to wait for the right moment. But when you wake up, you'll realize the moment passed. The opportunity's gone, and all you're left with is regret gnawing at your bones. Every lazy choice you make is a cut against your own future. Death by 1,000 cuts. Until one day you realize you've bled out all your chances, and all that's left is regret strangling your throat. You think you've got time? Time doesn't whisper. It steals. Every second you waste isn't coming back. It's stolen. Gone. Devoured. And what are you left with? A weak body. A weak mind. A weak existence no one will remember. You think you're safe because you're relaxed? No. You're stuck. And stuck people get crushed by those who actually stand, who actually move, who actually fight. Do you understand? Movement is survival. Action is dominance. Stillness is suicide. You think standing still means you're safe? No. You're just waiting to be crushed. The game never pauses. Life never stops. The only ones who survive are the ones who keep moving, even when their body screams to quit. There's no neutrality in life. You're either rising or rotting, sharpening your blade or letting it rust. Stand still and you're not just stuck. You're slipping backward while killers like me keep climbing. If you refuse to rise, someone else will rise above you. Stomp you into the dirt, and you'll cry about unfairness while they devour everything you wanted. When I awakened, I understood something simple. The world doesn't give a damn about your excuses. Nobody cares if you're tired. Nobody cares if you're not feeling it. You think I ever felt like it? You think monsters wait to feel ready before they kill? No. They strike anyway. They create their own rhythm. Awakening doesn't ask for permission. It doesn't care about timing. It arrives when you've burned away every excuse and turned laziness into ashes. That's when power hits like lightning. Winners don't wait for perfect conditions. They drag perfection out of chaos. They don't wait for the right mood. They force results through sheer will. That's the difference between predators and prey. That's what makes them inevitable. Waiting to feel ready is a parasite sucking your life dry. While you're staring at the ceiling, someone else is rewriting reality. And when you finally crawl out of your comfort, it'll already be too late. Time doesn't wait. Time is merciless. Every day you waste is an enemy sharpening their blade, getting stronger while you rot. And when they cut you down, don't scream about bad luck. Scream at your own damn laziness that left you defenseless. Luck is the language of losers. Call me arrogant. Call me egoistic. Call me obsessed. I don't best care. I set'st rather drown in my ego than rot in mediocrity. Luck is for beggars. Ego is for kings. The awakened don't wait for luck. They bend probability. They crush odds. They create inevitability. Call it ego if you want. I call it dominance. I don't want potential. I want domination. I want to bend the game to me. And that only happens when you kill that lazy version of yourself. The weak, cowardly version that clings to comfort because it fears the burn of effort. Crush it. Strangle it. Burn it alive if you have to. This isn't about discipline or positivity. This is war. And in war, hesitation is death. Laziness is hesitation. Kill it, or it will slit your throat when you're unguarded. You think I'm exaggerating? Look at the graves of wasted talent around you. Graves don't lie. They're filled with people who thought they had time, who thought talent was enough, who thought tomorrow would save them. Laziness buried them. Don't join them. If you want a reminder of what laziness leads to, visit a cemetery of wasted dreams. Every gravestone is a story of someone who wanted more but moved less. Their silence is your warning. Because the second you shed that skin, you stop being prey, you stop being average, you start becoming inevitable. I don't aim to compete with the lazy. I aim to erase them, to remind them that talent alone isn't enough, to show them that when laziness dies, what's left is a weapon sharper than anyone can defend against. I am not here to inspire you. I am here to shatter you, to expose your weakness until you either evolve or stay broken. That's the cruelty of reality and the beauty of awakening. Inspiration fades. Awakening doesn't. I'm not handing you comfort. I'm handing you a mirror. Look at the weakness staring back. Kill it before it kills everything you could be. Think you're tired? Then good. Stay tired, but move anyway. You'll realize that pain is proof you're not dead weight anymore. Think you don't feel like it? Perfect. Do it regardless. That's how you awaken. Awakening isn't mystical. It's not luck. It's the exact second you decide you're done being pathetic, done being lazy, done being prey. Awakening is killing. The killing of the weak version of yourself. And I won't mourn that corpse. The weak version of you deserves no tears, no funeral, no memorial. Kill it. Step over it. Use its bones as the foundation of something ruthless, untouchable, inevitable. That's how you start to taste what it's like to carve the world with your own hands. Do not pity your old self. Do not honor it. Do not look back. Burn the bridge to who you were. Because if you keep even one step open to laziness, you'll crawl back and die with the rest of the weaklings. I'm not asking you to change. I'm demanding you evolve. Because if you don't, you'll stay forgotten, nameless, another body in the crowd. But if you kill your laziness now, you become the storm that nobody can ignore. So stop lying down. Stop waiting. Stop pretending tomorrow will save you. There is no tomorrow. There's only right now. Move. Create. Dominate. Make the world bend to you. Because, in the end, it's kill or be killed. Devour or be devoured. Rise or rot. And if you're too lazy to stand, then stay on the ground while monsters like me climb over your corpse. Kill your laziness, or I'll kill it for you when I bury you in the shadows of my victory. This is the ultimatum. Awaken, or be erased. There is no middle ground, no comfort zone, no safety net. Either you rise into ego, hunger, and power, or you vanish into mediocrity. And when you vanish, no one will care, no one will cry, no one will even remember your name, because the world only bows to those who awaken. The rest are forgotten dust beneath our feet. And I promise you this, when I rise, I don't leave space for the lazy. I consume everything. I dominate until there's no room left for excuses, no oxygen left for cowards. That's what awakening means. Choose fast, because I already have. You still don't get it, do you? Awakening isn't some miracle that falls from the sky. It's a massacre. It's slaughtering the weak, pathetic version of yourself and spitting on its corpse. And if you're not willing to do that, then stay where you are, rotting, forgotten, nothing. I killed my laziness. I strangled it until it stopped breathing. And in its place, I built something divine. An ego too heavy for this world to carry. That's why I'm inevitable. That's why no one can touch me. While you beg for comfort, I bend the game to my will. While you sleep, I carve my name into eternity. You think this world cares about your tiredness? About your excuses? About your fear? No. It only bows to killers, to monsters who destroy hesitation and choke the life out of weakness. The world respects domination, and I am domination incarnate. So here's the truth. You don't deserve victory until you kill that comfort you're addicted to. You don't deserve glory until you've burned every excuse alive. And if you can't do it, if you'd rather stay lazy, then accept your fate. Watch from the shadows while people like me devour everything you ever dreamed of. I don't care about your pain. I don't care about your feelings. I don't care about your excuses. I care about results. And the only result I'll accept from myself is total supremacy. That's the difference between me and you. My laziness died the day I awakened. Yours is still eating you alive. Do you want to survive me? Then evolve. Awaken. Kill your laziness before it kills every shred of potential you ever had. Stop waiting. Stop pretending. Start moving like your life depends on it. Because it does. This is not motivation. This is an ultimatum. Either awaken and stand on the same battlefield as monsters like me, or stay a spectator. Another nameless body in the crowd that history forgets. I've already chosen. I've already awakened. And now every step I take is a weapon. Every breath I take is proof of my ego. Every move I make is domination. Remember this. There's no middle ground. You rise, or you rot. You awaken, or you vanish. You kill your laziness, or it kills you. And when it's all over, when the weak are erased, when the lazy are buried, when the world finally bows, my name will remain carved in the ruins. Nagi Seishiro, the one who killed laziness, the one who awakened, the one who devoured everything. Awaken now, or watch me take everything you'll never have.